Spotlight over the city.
You ready to rock, y'all? To the beat, y'all. Keep going, run, you don't stop.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city.
Welcome to Spotlight Over the City, and I'm here with the one and only, the big homie of all big homies, Mr. James Prince himself. What's going on, big homie?
Oh, yeah. What's up, DC?
I put the spotlight on your city.
The moral voice of the movie. I'm playing a old school cat that's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I'm gonna get them first, so that's how that's gonna work.
You got warrants in DC?
I got warrants all over the place. I got warrants in 6 counties.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby.
I'm gonna go I follow in the E-class with the goggles. 96 models.
No, we can't say. I can't say.
The one and only Guy Lambert is in the building tonight.
I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. I keep modeling, baby. ATL, DMV.
Say your spotlight over the city is on to something bigger than y'all think.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby.
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? Keeps happening, so I put it happened to that boy.
Oh, you.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar.
Y'all backstage with the one and only Mr. Chaney. Give it up one.
And when you in the DMV, you rocking with Spotlight over the city.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar.
Spotlight over the city.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spotlight Over the City. I am your host, Stan Long, along with the lovely Terry T-Bomb Long. Man, shout out to our Urban Style Media family. Y'all already see what it is, man. They are in the building, and that's who get us running each and every Thursday. We appreciate you guys for letting us rock. So Spotlight Over the City wouldn't be nothing without Urban Style. We have really formed a bond. So I really love the fact that Urban Style is who they are. So Urban Style, shout out to you guys for being a fan. Shout out to the DMV, shout out to the whole Philly. They told me I better not have another show and don't shout out Philly. So shout out to Philly, shout out to D-Town. Got some D-Town fans. Shout out to you guys for being a fan. Shout out to, of course, ATL, Charlotte, North Carolina, LA, and my Philly family, and also Hall Mills Network out there in Jersey. Shout out to you guys as well. We appreciate everybody for rocking with Spotlight each and every week. We love you guys. Let's rock.
Yes, we do.
We got a great show.
We've got a great show lined up for you today, as usual.
What's up, cutie?
I'm feeling a little weird. I've had to wear a hat 2 weeks in a row. Y'all know this is not the normal T-Bomb.
Well, it says flawless.
Well,
on your hat, and you looking flawless.
Even
like,
if I'm wearing a hat, I have to still try to be flawless.
Hey, you pulled that thing off, miss. You pulled it off. Look at you.
All right, then.
She looking good, right, y'all?
Well, hello, everybody.
Welcome aboard,
to Spotlight
everybody
Over the City.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go top you. I was just looking at our peoples on Facebook. Shout out everybody on Facebook. Let me put my glasses on. I'm acting like I can see. Let me just get it together.
I'm crunching a cough drop real quick.
All right, shout out Brandon. Shout out Neat. What's up, Neat? Where you been? David Hammond. What's going on, Allie? What's going on? Everybody on Facebook. We love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in the Spotlight. We got a great show.
Yes, we do. Coming up on today's show, we have got a Billboard chart-topping artist tuning in to Spotlight Over the City. She's on Spotlight Over the Liddy. Because we are Liddy. Right, because we are Liddy. I said Spotlight Over the Liddy because we are Liddy in the city. Porcelain. She is an amazing, lovely young lady. Cannot wait to catch up with her at the top part of the show. We've also got a young lady plugging in all the way from up in the tri-state area. JaQuitta Robinson has a powerful story about some of the struggles that she's gone through in life. I'll let that segment come up and tell you more about that later. Tune in, though. It's going to be good. We've got marketing, brand, fashion. She is like a boss lady of all boss ladies. Maggy Francois will be joining us later in the show as well. And then closing out the show with a live virtual performance is Spotlight family member Zo Miller. He's got some smooth sounds coming up at the end of the show that you all are going to be excited to listen to, because I got a preview and it's pretty hot.
Sounds like a great show as usual. Well, we got some great shows too. Shout out to everybody who supports Spotlight, and we have people who actually put with us just to help our situation out as far as when we were in the trenches, when we were trying to figure things out. We had people to come forward and give towards Spotlight over the city. So salute to everybody who gave towards our efforts. And we in tune are able to and tuned in do other things for the community and get out there and build and do things for the community. So now we're shooting commercials for people who are small businesses that can't afford a commercial. We'll come out and shoot a small infomercial, not really a full-fledged commercial, but an infomercial for you, so that you can promote your business during these trying times and try to help you stay afloat. So this is some of the ways that we can support. We also give away water, toilet paper, that kind of stuff. So if you're in need, inbox us, let us know what we can do to support that cause as well. We even deliver. If you're not in, far away, we'll come and drop it off at your door. So that's some of the things that we do to just try to be a service to the community, because we all we got.
That's right, baby. Thank you for that. Before we get into our Spotlight news, we have named that song. So what you have to do is we give you a few lyrics, the first line or two.
All right, y'all. Allie, look. Y'all look now. Don't let her cheat. Don't let her cheat.
Those of you watching on Facebook and on the Instagram Live, if you know the song, just say it, blurt it out, right? And maybe we will give away a prize this time if y'all can get it right. So, Mike,
I got
ready?
some books
You want to
give
go first?
away. I got some books to give away, not just mine. I got other authors.
You want to go first?
No, I want you to go first.
Okay. You said you'd be gentle with me, and I hope that you will. That's it. That's all I'm giving up.
Okay.
That's
that
it.
was good. That
what y'all got?
That was cute.
Okay. Do you know the song? You can't blurt it out.
I know the song.
But you have to know the song
I know
and the artist.
I know the song, but I don't know the artist. I do know the song, but I don't know the artist.
Okay, what's yours?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Hey, Big D, you ready for this? Let me get my water together.
Oh, my
goodness. Hey, all my gang on it. Y'all ready, gang?
What you say the ladies call you, though, with your voice?
They call me the voice because I make them moist.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm just telling you what the people say.
It doesn't work, babe.
I just can't understand for the life of me just what I see in you.
Okay, what's his song? That's just that line. What's Stan's song?
Because every time
that's it.
You think of leaving me.
That's it.
I get so shook up. Yeah.
Okay, what's his song?
And what,
baby, what they saying on there? Because I can't
They said I killed it.
No, they didn't.
Did I kill it? Hey,
No.
Mo. Hey,
No.
Brandon. What I do, Brandon?
No, so we
Hey,
gon'
tell the truth. Hey, shame the devil. Put them under your feet.
Let's see if they guessed it right. But anyway, while y'all
Who
are
know
guessing,
the song? Who know the song and who know the artist? You got to know the group and you got to know the name of the song.
got to know the artist and the song. So Spotlight News is sponsored by Umbrella Therapeutic Services, and Umbrella is DC's most reliable and trusted behavioral health organization.
Umbrella. Shout out to the homeboy West, the CEO of the whole situation.
That's right. Umbrella provides community support, medication management, and therapy for individuals and groups. Any DC resident ages 5 through 100 are eligible for their services. They accept Medicaid and Medicare patients as well as private health insurance. Contact them at 1-888-793-4357. Again, that number is 1-888-793-4357.
As early as 5? That's
Yeah, and
good.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, you all. So
Yes,
get
it
those
is.
mental health checkups, okay?
Please make sure you do that. Do not feel any way, because I definitely don't. I've had mental checkups, and I will definitely do it again. I think that it's a great thing. We call it a tune-up. You have to get a tune-up on your vehicle in order for it to work properly, and sometimes your mind also needs the same.
I agree.
Especially when you're on house arrest, locked in the house.
I've been enjoying it, though. I can't even lie.
Well, we can't even call it house arrest because we don't feel that way about it, actually. But for some, it can feel like house arrest. You know what I mean?
I know. So moving on, we're going to update you really quickly about Stan is going to update you. Dr. Rashid Buttar, who's a doctor based out in Charlotte, North Carolina, I believe.
They say Betty Wright.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they guessed it. Did they
David
guess the
Hammond.
song?
You say tonight is the night.
Yes, David
Betty
Hammond.
Wright.
You're the winner.
Tonight's the night, like Betty Wright, and I'm chilling. Yeah,
Yes.
shout out David Hammond. Hey,
That's
David,
right.
David be Googling it.
We're going to do the after party tonight when we get home, David, so stay up.
Yeah, my fault. So back to Dr.
Dr. Buttar, he provides
Dr. Buttar,
information on the House Resolution number 6666, COVID-19 Testing, Reaching, and Contacting Everyone Act, the TRACE Act. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, yeah, let's talk about that TRACE Act for a minute. Actually, you guys have to, this is why we have Spotlight over the city. This is not something that they're going to talk about on your major networks, but this is very important. So, before I get into this, and I'm gonna make it quick, make sure you follow Dr. Buttar. Does he have what is his site? They take all of his information down. They're doing what they call scrubbing. So they're not allowing a lot of information to be put on social media that's against what their agenda is. So they scrub it. It's called scrubbing. In other words, they take it down instantly. And so Dr. Buttar is definitely one of those gentlemen that gets his stuff taken down instantly. So what is his site? It's B-U.
His name is B-U-T-T-A-R. I didn't write down his site.
B-U-T-T-A-R, Dr. Buttar. Make sure you guys write that down. And you can go to his, I think he has a YouTube channel.
He does.
He has a YouTube channel. He also has IG and Facebook and the whole nine. So if you can look up this young man, he's in Charlotte, North Carolina. He has a practice. But this young man is amazing, and he gives out some really factual information, and he's a bona fide doctor. They try to, discredit him. And the reason they try to discredit him is because a lot of times when people come out and tell you truth, then they get discredited so you won't adhere to truth. So this is something that we found on the website, congress.gov, right? Congress.gov. It's called the COVID-19 testing. It's a TRACE Act, right? TRACE Act, testing, reaching, and contacting everyone. Testing, reaching, and contacting everyone. TRACE Act. And the number for this act is H.R.6666. They added one extra 6. Now, I don't know how this came to be. I don't know why this is the number for this particular act. But this act is to basically allow them to come into your home, force you to be tested. If you're not in compliance, you can be taken from your home, separated from your family. And shout out to my Hispanic community that's still being separated from their families and being in these camps as we speak, and people don't talk about it. But where are they? And why are they not being reunited with their families? And why is this not a big injustice? And why is it not being talked about on all these major networks? Because they don't care about that situation. Well, this could be us next, right? Because they're passing these bills. This is a bill that's being trying to be passed into Congress. Now, just keep in mind, this is not something that's already implemented, but just believe, trust and believe. You're going to hear a lot of this TRACE stuff talked about for the next few weeks. And this bill is definitely going to go through Congress. Some kind of way they're going to make this happen. And they got a $100 billion, what they get for it? $100 billion is what's involved with this bill. And this is a vaccination situation, totally. They're going to come and they want to do a whole lot of tracing and tracking, and it's a whole lot of underlying stuff that they want to do to these Hebrew situations. So just please believe, when I say Hebrew, I don't mean just blacks. I'm talking about my Hispanic community. I'm talking about my all of these, the black and brown communities pretty much will fall under that. And they want to say that we're the target. So they're going to say that you guys can't come out until last, because we're going to make sure that you don't become a threat for the community. So 2 days, they didn't have nothing going on with the race tracing. And then 2 days later, they could tell you exactly how many numbers that the blacks had, Hispanics had, all of this stuff, right? Yeah. So why is that? That's because they're going to eventually want to come to your door as the Hebrew and be the first to come to your door first. And then they want to make sure that you can't come into the community until after everybody else is feeling safe about you. Even though Japan didn't have that, even though Europe didn't have that, even though a lot of these other places didn't have that. But all of a sudden in America, the Negro is a problem. So we got to be aware. Spotlight over the city is trying to just make you aware. Think a little bit, look up these things. This is not something I make up.
That's right, baby. So you all look up Dr. Buttar on YouTube. William Roddy Bryan is the man who recorded the video of Ahmaud Arbery's lynching in Georgia back in February. William Roddy Bryan, he said that he was doing lawn work when he noticed a familiar neighbor jogging and being chased by a truck. So he followed the truck and started recording the incident. Well, see, I'm side-eyeing you, William Roddy Bryan.
Yeah, I'm
side-eyeing you. For number one, let's just say you telling the truth, and you was cutting your lawn, and you was like, let me follow this black person. He looks familiar. and then you see what's happening to him, and you just get your phone out and record, and then you go back home and what, finish your damn lawn and sit on the couch? What the hell?
And so months go by and you say nothing, and so you didn't feel obligated about a death.
Come
you
on
saw
now.
a shooting in front of your car. You didn't feel threatened at all. Maybe
on
they
now.
turned a gun and shoot at you. You didn't feel nothing. You didn't feel like maybe I need to talk to the authorities about this situation. Nothing.
William Roddy Bryan.
So if you stood by and watched and did nothing, then you're probably just as guilty. So you need to be arrested.
Not probably.
I'm gonna
you
need them to
are.
come and pick
and
that
the
ass up right
mother,
quick.
Ahmaud's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, she said she would like to see both the father and the son receive the death penalty. And she wants this William Roddy Bryan person to get life in prison. Do you agree with that?
Well, I don't feel like it's unjustified. I mean, that's a lynching. It's a modern day lynching. I said lynching.
I
not
agree
murder.
with it.
When you pull out guns and lynch people in public, and then you feel like you have the authority because no one's going to do anything, which they did not. And I also believe, while we're on the subject, that a lot of those people that's in a position to have prosecuted should be also being investigated for prosecuting. They should
Hell
be
yeah.
talking about prosecuting you, because injustice is injustice. And so if you, what we call what they call it, impeding justice or not adhering to justice,
Your ass
then
need to
your
be in
ass
trouble.
need to go right with
That's
them then,
right.
because you was assisting this foolishness. So
Yeah.
you watched the lynching because you probably knew about the tape way before we did.
That's
and
right.
how did the tape just get released all of a sudden? And what if the tape never got released? See, this is why we have to police ourselves. We have to do this spotlight stuff, talk about it on our open media platforms, because they hide it, they diminish it, and now they want to spin it and talk about what this young man was doing in an empty vacant house. I went in plenty vacant houses and didn't get shot at.
Yeah.
I do
like
real
I said,
estate.
even
I look in the window all the time
That's
at
right.
vacant properties. I do real estate.
There's-
So,
yeah.
hey, it's what you do sometimes.
we all saw the video. There is nothing that you can say, whether even if he looked in somebody's house. I don't give a damn even if he went and took something out of someone's house. Nothing, none of that justifies what we saw on that video. So
The
let's
police not even supposed to be able to run you down without being armed and shoot you down in cold blood.
Yeah.
So if you're not a police officer in the off duty or nothing, then you have no right to come and ask me what I'm doing in nobody's neighborhood.
No right.
You need to go your ass back in the house and mind your business.
That's right.
That's what should happen to you.
So moving on.
I want to say something else should happen to you.
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
All right now. Anyway, but I feel you doing that, babe. I agree with you. Elon Musk is reopening his Tesla factory this week.
Shout out to my
and
homie
he said,
Elon Musk.
He said, I dare the California authorities to arrest me. I'm opening my Tesla factory, y'all. That's what he said. And I dare you to arrest me. Do it. Let me
He
see
said,
you
who
do
gonna
it.
check me?
Let me see you do
So
it.
at the end of the day, do your homework on Elon Musk, though. Don't just look
Yeah.
at the riches. Don't just look at that. I want you to do the backstory part.
Read
I want
up
you to
on
read
him.
up a little bit on that backstory on Elon Musk, and then I want you to look at how he tries to.
He don't even put
I don't
their
wanna
money
give it
with
away.
them. He
But
don't
I'ma
put
just
his
say
money
this.
with them.
I'm gonna say this, Mark Zuckerberg. What's the boy?
The Zuckerberg.
Whatever your name. You connected to some people that I don't agree with at all. This young man connected himself. Elon Musk connected himself to you for 1 year.
And was like, nope.
And as soon as he found out who else you was connected to and your agendas, he slid off and won't accept no more money. He don't invest no money in the stock market. Not a dollar.
Nothing. He don't put his money with them.
Don't you find that odd? Elon Musk is a billionaire, multi-billionaire. He don't have no money invested in the stock market.
None.
So anyway, we'll talk about him later. Do your homework though on
Do
these
your
people,
homework.
and find out who moving with who, and find out who moving wrong and who moving right. You gotta know who to move with and who to look at, and don't just believe Fox.
Rest in
news.
peace. Rest in peace to Little Richard, Andre Harrell,
Man, a lot of
Betty
passion.
Wright, and Jerry Stiller. They all left us this
Yeah.
past week.
Yeah, this
I
was
guess-
odd too. Very odd.
Isn't it
situation.
odd?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So R.I.P. to them, and for sure condolences to their family that
Absolutely.
they left behind. And it's a sad time because at this point in time, we can't, connect
Right.
with the funerals and the passings, and we can't actually go and be a part of the proceedings. So it's kind of a lonely situation. It's like makes death even harder to deal with. So
I
our
agree.
condolences to the family.
Condolences go out to the
And Little
families.
Richard did some amazing things too to be a trendsetter.
Babe, let me hear you sing a Little Richard line.
I ain't got that
do
one
it.
for you.
Tutti frutti, on a Rudy. Tutti frutti, on a wop, wop, doo, wop, 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 bam, boo.
All right, well that's cool.
Yes.
I ain't had it, but I will say that he was a pioneer in the music game. He had King of Pop and a whole bunch of
Yeah.
stuff. As we always
Yeah.
are. So yeah,
There's not much going on in sports, but I guess we can do a mention to the UFC because they were able to pull it off without a crowd and all of that, right?
They did, and shout out to them. They did a great job. Dana, what's his name? Dana somebody. He did a great. What's his name? Dana White. Yeah, thank you, bro. Dana White. He did a great job actually making that thing happen because it was kind of groundbreaking. You know, how do you do this? No crowd, no this. And so actually what happened was the noise from the actual physical contact was able to be heard. A lot of the things that wasn't concentrated on because the crowd noise was drowned out, so you could focus on the fight a little more. And there was some bomb fights. I only saw a glimpse of it, but I saw a lot of blood and a lot of action. So you saw it both. They was hitting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So shout out to Dana for that. And I mean, the NFL is now looking at those proceedings, and a lot of other sports figures are looking at how they can actually go forward in this new crazy day that we're in today.
We got Porcelain standing by, but real quick, Spotlight Shining Star this week, baby. What's going on? What's the goings on?
Let me get my papers together. Wait, hold. Okay. So I haven't done this in a few shows because we had packed shows, but I'm gonna make it quick. Spotlight Shining Star is one of my favorite segments. It's what we talk about, somebody doing something amazing in the community, for the community, rich, poor, famous, it doesn't matter. And so in this particular one, we have two individuals that are both famous. Jay-Z, shout out to Jay-Z and the homie Meek Mills.
Yes.
They are really doing some amazing things outside of this, but they're sending 10 million masks all throughout the prison systems, for inmates as well as the CEOs or the correctional officers.
I love it.
And so 10 million masks is a lot. And so shout out to them for doing that. And they doing some other things, prison reform and the whole thing. Shout out to Rick Rubin. Who is it? Is it Rick Rubin? Who else over there? Is it Rick Rubin? What's my man that own the Sixers?
Michael Rubin.
Michael Rubin. Yeah, Michael. I'm sorry, Rick. I said Rick. Michael Rubin and all of them, man. Jay-Z for sure. So I love that. Spotlight Shining Star. Y'all doing some amazing things.
Kudos
and also,
to you all.
locally, Penn Fed. Penn Fed gave $10,000 unexpectedly. They gave out, not in a lump sum, but they gave out $100 that amounted to accrued to $10,000 over Southeast in a safe way, unexpectedly, just to the elderly.
I love it.
Just randomly, $10,000. So I thought that was a great look. So shout out to Penn Fed. That's a great company. That's a good giveaway. Good back.
Coming up after this commercial break, we have got a phenomenal artist, a wonderful young lady, and her voice is off the chain. We're not going to be able to hear her voice tonight, but she's going to get us caught up to date with some of the amazing things she's got going on and a great project she just put out recently. We've got Porcelain coming up right after this next commercial break, y'all.
We'll be right back. Spotlight.
Whoop, whoop.
I got some issues. I'll admit it, I ain't perfect. Blow you up, don't answer on purpose. Say you busy, I assume that you be working. I've been feeling like there's more under the surface. I got my wallet when you call up, but I'm got it. I'm so good. You leave me broken hearted. All I want is a nigga who gon' ride for me. A nigga like you won't even try for me. I'm alright. Bunny need a climb. Who gon' climb for me? You gon' make me pull up with my girls and they goodies. Tryna talk to me, I'll come, but I'm good if you got me all wrong and you know that you shouldn't. Know that you shouldn't, yeah. Look what my emotions are pushing roulette. You on my feelings, catch a bullet. I wasn't looking, I wasn't sure, yeah. You gon' make me act out. You wasn't worth it, and I knew it. You took your shot, bro, and you blew it. Sipping that hand, I'm about to lose it. You gon' make me act, you gon' make me act out. Now I'm in my bag, know I gotta trust you. I'm staying fast cause you know I love you. Now you got me feeling like a killer. I can't let you move on like it's nothing. Only in my time when you miss me. Maybe it's a sign, PTSD. I get it every time when you text me. Guess I'm just used to niggas flex. All I want is someone who gon' fight for me. But wasn't looking, I wasn't sure yet. You gon' make me act out.
Welcome back to Spotlight Over the City, and we have us a +1 in the building. Before I introduce, I want to just quickly say shout out to Edith Johnson and a whole bunch of people that's on Facebook checking us out. Shout out to William Winters and the whole gang, man. Everybody on Facebook. I want to make sure I acknowledge you guys. Damon Hatchett, what's going on?
That's
man?
right. Hey, y'all.
Brandon, what's good? Everybody. So we got a guest, and we're gonna get to it without further ado. You want to introduce?
I'm
wifey?
so excited. Like, you know, I was telling Raphael, I was just like, oh my gosh, so yes, this week, yes, we have the lovely, the amazing. Her voice is just so bomb, y'all. Y'all got to make sure y'all follow her. But we have the lovely Porcelain joining Spotlight Over City. Y'all give it up. Woo!
Thank you for joining us. We got an empty studio.
Hey, girl, welcome to Spotlight Over the City.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you, but it's a bit of an echo with it.
Okay, well, we're gonna work on that. We're
we'll
gonna work.
right.
We're gonna get that right.
How about now?
I am glad that you were able to join us today, and unfortunately, you can't be here personally because that would be so exciting to have you here live in the studio with us. But we do want to talk about a little bit about what's going on with you, this new single you've got out. We want to give you an opportunity to tell everybody all about who Porcelain is and all the magic that you've been creating with that voice of yours. There she is. Did you hear me, Porcelain?
We can't hear sound. Give us 1 second. We see you good. We just got to get your sound right.
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
I think I'm good now.
There we go.
Yes, and you look amazing.
Thank you. I actually have had an allergic reaction, so I'm dealing with that. So I'm not putting on as much makeup because I'm trying to let my skin heal, and I'm kind of going through that process. So you know how it is, women. We like to have our face on.
Well, you look amazing.
Yeah, you
Thank
do.
you.
All is good.
So tell us about Porcelain. Tell us about her sound went out again, guys. Tell us all about who you are and this single you've got coming out.
Well, my new CD is going to be called Mood Ring. It's actually going to be inspired just by the ups and downs of a relationship, the many things that people go through. I want to put out something that women can relate to, and that's really the direction that I'm going in with this album. Just the different moods and to kind of show the different dimensions of just a woman in general, or just relationships in general. That's my goal with the album. I'm looking forward to it releasing and people getting a taste of who I am as a person, because I feel like I'm not the type of person who can be really boxed in. I can do a lot of different things, you know, and my vibe is definitely going to be mood on each song, and mood rings have different colors, different energies, and I just want to show that through my project Mood Ring. And I think that's what you asked me.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is
definitely.
what I asked you. Yes. Tell us a little bit about who inspired you. Like, let's go back a little bit. Who inspired you and some of the amazing things that you've done along the way? I saw you performing on stage with Stevie Wonder before.
You said who, I heard the who inspired me.
And then I said, let's talk about that time that you were on stage singing with Stevie Wonder.
Oh, I heard that. My inspirations growing up have always been like old school, because I wasn't really listening to a lot of the newer music back then, just because my mom really kind of censored everything I listened to, obviously when you're a kid. So basically all the old school songs she listened to, I would listen to. So growing up, Stevie Wonder inspired me, Whitney Houston, Shaka Khan. And as I got older, I started to kind of listen to other artists like the Rihannas and the Kendrick Lamars, who are really, really great artists that are doing their thing today. And they also inspire me from a new millennial or just a new generation. They inspire me as well. Being on stage with Stevie had to be the best moment of my life. It was very unexpected. He had come to the show. We were doing an event together. And he came to sound check. He came to sound check. His sound check was after mine. And I met him and we talked, we chopped it up. And I was like, I'm so excited to finally meet you. And I'm just honored to be sharing the stage with you.
Wow.
And he was such a sweet person. He was so humble, and he called David Porter, who I'm signed with which is Made in Memphis Entertainment. He called him because it was his show. It was David Porter and Friends. And he called him. I was in my dressing room. Well, I was in this hotel because we did it in like a hotel casino thing. And he called my phone. David called my phone. He's like, do you know Chaka Khan, tell me something good? And I'm like, I don't know this song. I said, I never do the first verse. I always do the second verse. You got an hour. You got to learn the first verse. Because Stevie wanted to do a song with you. And I was like, I'm not ready, but I'm ready. I don't have a choice. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So even with being nervous, I got on, I learned it to the best of my abilities, used my little short-term memory, got on stage, and it was like the easiest, most comfortable show that I've had the honor of doing, because everybody was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And it was people on the set or on the stage or behind the stage that knew him, and they was like, girl, you're gonna get fired. Just follow Stevie, honey. Just follow Stevie. And I'm like, why does everybody keep saying just follow Stevie? What does this mean? And when I got on stage, it was literally just that. I mean, because he was mumbling too, and it was just hilarious because he captivated an entire audience and he barely said any words. So it was just a fun and exciting. It was like a jam session in front of a large audience. And
wow.
It was really nice. I have to say that was one of the most comfortable moments I've had on stage.
Wow.
So, real quick, before you answer, I'm going to piggyback. What was one of the most uncomfortable situations that you've had on stage?
One of the most, you mean like one of the most uncomfortable moments on stage?
Yeah, period. With an artist, solo, by yourself, whatever the case is, whatever it was.
Ooh, that love. You asking a good question.
Yeah, I want the tea. Give it up. Put it on spotlight. Let us know. You don't have to say the name, but I just need to know.
Talk about this for a minute. I'm just joking, but I will tell you. So, the one thing that has been, and it's uncomfortable maybe for most people because I'm an artist and I know I'm a new artist. I know that a part of that is networking, is talking to people and being personable. So it was this event that I went to. And I can be, at times, I'm a little bit socially awkward. I'm not just, when you put me in a setting and I'm like, hi, my name is Porcelain, such and such, and blah, 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 and I'm introducing myself to everybody. So I had the opportunity to meet 50 Cent. I went to an event. And, my PR, he walked away. He was like, oh, I'm going to let her just do her thing. And I was like, no, I don't want to. But then I had to kind of talk and introduce myself. And it was just so awkward because I was like, hey, I'm Porcelain. And, I do music. And she was like, oh, you do music? Okay. All right, cool. What kind of music you do? And I'm like, I do R&B. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I actually have a show here. I was saying, at that time, I was doing a show for Dunkin' Donuts Lounge on iHeartRadio. I was performing in their lounge. And I told him that. And he was like, I don't know if he thought I was going to be in Dunkin' Donuts singing or what he thought. but it was just like this awkward silence, like, and he just starts texting on his phone, and that's the end of the conversation. So I'm stuck there. After I'm like, yeah, I'm performing, you know, Dunkin' Donuts Lounge, and I'm thinking it's a thing because Dunkin' Donuts Lounge with iHeartRadio is in New York. So I'm like, it's a big deal for an independent artist to have the opportunity to do an unplug with iHeartRadio. So I'm super excited, wanting to share what I'm about to do. And he was like, that's what's up. And he started texting on his phone and left me standing there. And it was, that was like it.
Girl, that is so funny. Listen.
But what you learning though is everything ain't got good character. Just because people are high up or have money doesn't mean they have certain character.
Yeah. Well, listen, that was a funny story, Porcelain. We do got to get ready to go. I just want people to know how they can support your music. Put it all out there right now. Let us know everything that you want all of our viewers and listeners to know about Porcelain and how we can support you.
Okay, people can support my music by going and checking it out on Spotify, iTunes, Tidal. It's everywhere on all digital platforms. And they can also go check out my website, porcelanmusic.com. That's PORCELAN music.com. And then they can also follow me on my socials and find out what I'm doing, see new stuff I'm posting, new collaborations. On my on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. My handle is @Porcelain Music, PORCELAN Music.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Porcelain. Before you go, real quick, when you jump in your vehicle, you got a 30-minute ride. What's the first artist you popping in?
The first artist I'm popping in, jumping in my vehicle.
You got a 30-minute ride.
And I've said this often. I love Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, the album How to Pimp a Butterfly. I listen to that album a lot. It's really dope. That's something I can listen to and I can ride to because I just love Kendrick. He's super lyrical.
Got you.
Thank
you for being a part of Spotlight Over the City. We really appreciate you. We wish you all the best. Make sure you guys follow this young lady. She's amazing.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Y'all give it up for Porcelain. Woo! Coming up after this next commercial break, we have got JaQuitta Robinson telling her amazing, powerful story right after this next commercial.
Spotlight Over the City. We'll be right back.
There's something about how this place is a different kind of person.
On my high school team, we had 5 guys making the NBA.
We had to rocking.
You mentioned Prince George's County. People know what it's about. It's the mecca of basketball.
There are those who come before us, upon whose shoulders we stand.
Being from this area, you have to have tough skin. The gym became his sanctuary.
PG County guy. Provide buckets for America.
Prince George packs a lot of power, a lot of character.
It's nothing that you can do to stop that competitive edge.
Pushing the community and the culture forward. It's just in the water.
In 1990, Washington, D.C. saw more than 470 homicides, earning it the label murder capital of the U.S.
There you go, right. When y'all pull over to the side, go ahead and arrest this dude. Y'all see Russian. About 30
36 seconds and rushed the door. I don't know what hit him. What you might feel,
Hey, man, I gotta tell you about this, my nigga.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, I don't know. I'm trying to see. I went and talked with him today, man. Man, it's been a little funny.
Yeah, man.
I can't really say. I got funny feeling at me, son.
Wait for Black to get in there. Give us the signal. Up in the joint. Snatch this nigga up. Break. Spaz out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Spotlight Over the City. We have us another +1. Actually,
Plus
we have
two.
a +2 in the building.
Yes, we do.
I'll let you introduce.
Yes, we do. I think you all are up in the tri-state area. So if I'm incorrect about that, she'll correct me. But we've got an amazing young lady, author, and her fiance are coming to join us today just to talk a little bit about the book that they're writing together, and also some of the trials and tribulations along the way. We have JaQuitta Robinson, and she's also a first responder. So talk a little bit about that too. And you all, we want to just welcome JaQuitta and her fiance LaKoya to the show. Welcome to Spotlight Over the City.
Welcome to Spotlight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. We're in New York.
Okay, so I was right. Tri-state area, New York. Thank you so much for joining Spotlight Over the City. How are you doing?
We're doing great, quarantining, staying in the house with kids and everything, and, just trying to make the best of the time that we have being home.
Yeah, before we get into your powerful story, we just, kind of like summarize things and let people know, and there are people that may be helped by your story. But before we get into that, tell us quickly how things have been going for you in your job. Have you been having to go in at all? Like, what's been going on with you professionally being a first responder?
Yes, well, I actually have been home the last couple of weeks just because it has been here in New York. We've been hit really, really hard, and the numbers are really high.
Wow.
I have underlying conditions, even though I work firsthand, frontline with medical professionals, but I was afraid of bringing the virus home to my family. Yeah. So I'm home. I'm a respiratory practitioner, so we are frontline. We specialize in heart and lungs. So it's been really, really crazy in the beginning. Before we knew what it was, we were seeing patients left and right that were coming in with this cough, and they just couldn't get rid of it, and we did not know what it was. We were trying to figure out what it was, and then once we found out, the amount of patients that we were seeing tripled in 2 days. In 2 days, the numbers tripled in the amount of patients that we were seeing. Seeing people who were talking to us and that were fine one day, and then within 2 to 3 days, those people were deceased.
Wow.
So it has been that being in this job, it's emotionally and mentally draining because you're constantly seeing people ill, sick, dying, children, elderly, middle age, and then also having to tell their families that, family members passed away as the result of the virus. So even though I'm home now, being home, having a little bit of a break, it's also an emotional and mental break for me, not having to be on the front line and just seeing these people just die by the numbers every single day. So, hopefully, people maintain social distancing, continue washing their hands, wearing their masks. I know what kind of happens is the less we hear about it in the news, people think that it's going away. It's not going away. So still be mindful of all the things that they're asking us to do. A lot of places are ready to jump in and open up. Like I heard, I don't know how true it is, that the Jersey Shore is going to be opening Memorial Day weekend. Certain things like that, I don't recommend anybody jumping right into. I still think we need to stay home and self-quarantine as much as we can.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. Let's get into this book that you're writing. How did it come about? And when is the book coming out? What can we look forward to? Talk about your story a little bit.
So the book that we are writing is called A Happy Continue. So we chose the name A Happy Continue because most love stories, they say, have a happy ending. And we don't, we don't plan on it coming to an end. So we chose to call it a happy continue. But basically, Koya and I were best friends. We met in high school at 15 years old. We were very, very close friends. We started as friends, and we both, it eventually evolved into a relationship. Both of us, neither one of us had ever been with someone of the same sex at that time. We were 15 years old, and our families kind of thought we were experimenting. We always both knew that we were lesbians. And when we came out to our families, they were very unaccepting of it. And we kind of went through we ran away from home and kind of started a life on our own at 15 years old. We were homeless. We slept in the streets for a certain amount of years, from house to house, just to be together. Our families disowned us. Over time, still being young in that age, we were separated and torn apart. And I ended up to be accepted by my family, doing what my family wanted, which was being married, being with a man, having a family, and having children, which I did, because that's what society expected from me and what my family expected. But I never truly was myself 100% and never truly happy with myself, because I knew deep down inside that I was a lesbian and I didn't want to be with a man. And it played a huge part in my marriage. It affected my children when I finally decided that this is what I need to do. I want to be who I am and be my true self. LaKoya and I had reconnected just as friends. And, we knew the love never went away. It immediately clicked back to just like nothing passed. Yeah, instantly. And we kind of picked up where we left off, but now we're grown and there was nothing anybody could say. I will say that there were people hurt and disappointed along the way, but we went through so many things and so many hurdles to be together. And just this past December, she took me to Paris and she proposed to me under the Eiffel Tower. And here we are, we're engaged, we're writing our book, which you guys will be looking forward to coming out. We're self-publishing, so you'll be able to find it on all the Amazon, Kindle, Barnes and Nooks. You'll be able to download ebooks and also get hard copies of the book sometime this summer. And hopefully by July, the book will be ready. But this is a book that a lot of people could relate to it, especially the LGBTQ youth, because of what we went through as teenagers and our families, totally, disowning us and pushing us away. And you can speak on what you went through with your mom. But it is something that a lot of teenage youth can relate to. And also women and men who are in a heterosexual relationship, who are living a double life, and just are afraid to come out and be themselves, and are afraid of, is it going to destroy my family? Is it going to destroy, friendships? And I have lost some friendships and some family members along the way, but I'll tell you, it's made me a better parent, because I couldn't 100% be a good mother to my kids because I wasn't 100% happy with myself. So I think it's going to definitely reach a lot of people in the community, as far as, your sexuality and knowing your sexuality and being true to yourself. What do you have to say about it?
I think you said it all.
Wow.
So go ahead. Sorry.
One question that someone in our on our Facebook inbox wanted to ask is, was LaKoya the reason that you got divorced? Like, is that the reason?
No, she's not. Actually, my ex-husband and I separated prior to LaKoya and I being in an intimate relationship. Yeah, we were just friends and reconnected about 2 years prior to my husband and I separating and just having a friendship. But he knew all throughout, my marriage, I told him that I was with a woman. The first person I ever been with, my first love, was a female, and that it was something that I felt within myself. He didn't believe it. He's Jamaican, born and raised, and it's something that's totally against his culture and what he believes in. So he totally dismissed me whenever I tried to talk to him about it. But I just felt like I needed to find myself. I needed to find myself. And when we decided to separate, I actually was in a relationship with a man. because I was with my husband for so long, and I said to myself, am I really gay? Am I gay? Is it maybe I just didn't want to be with him?
Yeah.
And I was in a relationship for a short time with another man, and it's just not, it wasn't what I wanted. I still was pretending to be someone who I was not. So LaKoya and I officially have been together in a relationship for a year now.
Wow.
But no, she's absolutely not the reason why at all.
Wow. So you're getting to walk out what your true self is now in this second half of your life, and that must be a great feeling for both of you. And you're brave for telling your story and about to put it out there in a book. We are very excited for you and happy to see Happy. You know, I love, and so I'm very happy that you were brave enough to finally say, you know what, this is what I want for my life.
Thank you. Thank you. It's not easy. It's not. It's very hard. And I encourage people. I know people are afraid, but there is a huge community of people out there that will support you if you choose to want to come out and about your sexuality. And I promise you, people, those that matter will not care. You know what I mean? And those who do care don't matter. And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Well, we wish you all nothing but the best. We need to be kept in the loop when that book is coming out so we can make sure we help you promote it, okay?
Can I ask one question?
Sure. Yes.
I know we're running tight on time.
Wait a minute.
You guys can follow Instagram because we'll be having updates about our book. So you can follow me on Instagram at JaQuitta, JaQuitta, or you can follow LaKoya at iCool with a K, IKOOL 1981.
Okay, before you guys go real quick, just for either one of you guys, how is the family dynamic now that you guys are older and back together? Do you still get the same backlash or no?
Great question.
Did they hear me?
I'll let you answer.
From some people, it's still the same backlash, but we try not to let it affect us at all. As long as we keep a strong household with us that's in our home, then that's pretty much what matters to us. We don't focus on anybody outside of this circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that should work for any family.
That's right.
No matter what the situation is, you should definitely focus on you as a family first. And that's what simply matters. So good luck to you guys. We wish you the best. And thank you guys for being a part of Spotlight Over the City.
Thank you so much for being a part of our family. You in the family now. You can say you're part of Spotlight's family.
Thank you so much for having us.
And you guys stay safe and keep us posted.
All right, take care.
Take care, you guys. Coming up next after this commercial break, we have got the fancy Maggy Francois joining us on set.
We'll be right back. Spotlight Over the City.
This bread that we hold in our hands represents the body of Christ that was beaten, broken, and bruised for all of our transgressions. Now we eat together.
Now that you're here, is there anything you need?
Senators. I'll need senators. This building's for everyone.
Even a call girl.
Even the call girl. What the hell is going on in here?
And it reads, "For I am the least of the apostles, who am not worthy to be called an apostle, because I've persecuted the church of God." How's the church you was at?
We can't have anybody terrorizing our church.
What is going on in here? Did y'all have sex in there? It's no heaven for me. He married a prostitute, and he has brought shame to this church.
Let me get you some help. You don't think this is something you should have informed us about?
Yes, well, I thought it'd be best if I kept my wife's business private.
Private?
What were the charges brought up?
Possession of a controlled dangerous substance and prostitution. How can you love a person so filthy?
This church should be about forgiveness. All we do is pass judgment.
You my wife! How you gonna do this to me?
But what if I do it again?
if you do it again, I'll still be here. For better or for worse, remember? Until death do us part.
I think Pat's got a little freak in him. Freak. Freak.
In 1990, Washington, D.C. saw more than 470 homicides, earning it the label murder capital of the U.S.
There you go. Hey, listen, when y'all pull over to the side, and arrest this dude, when y'all see me rush, y'all rush in about 30 seconds. Rush the don't know what hit. What's up with you, man? How you feel?
Man. I don't know. I'm trying to see. I went and talked to him, man. Oh, man. I can't really say. I got I'm feeling that means.
Sure. What it is. Wait for black to get in there. Give us the signal. Run up. Snatch this break. Spaz out.
That's about time. Keep calling you. Since you've been gone, keep calling you. What's going on? All right. You guys.
See you later. They ain't saying nothing?
No, just keep up. When you hear
my I ain't shooting all this shit, man. What do I mean? They ain't say
nothing at all. Keep calling. Hey, you in here? Ring. Not saying nothing.
Right, man. It's my 28th birthday.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, shit. Get up.
Just let me up,
Hey,
man.
Joe. This nigga funny, man. LC.
I don't got no. I'm gonna take you. Just let me up.
All right, get your ass up. Come on. Let's go.
Just get me up. I'm gonna take you.
Spotlight over the city.
You ready to rock, y'all? To the beat, y'all. Keep going, run, you don't stop.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city.
Welcome to Spotlight Over the City, and I'm here with the one and only, the big homie of all big homies, Mr. James Prince himself. What's going on, big homie?
Oh, yeah. What's up, DC?
I I put the spotlight on your city.
The moral voice of the movie. I'm playing a old school cat that's in a wheelchair.
You got to get them first, so that's how that's going to work.
Yes.
You got warrants in D.C.? I got warrants all over the place. I got warrants in 6 countries.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby.
I'm a good number. I follow in the E class with the goggles. 96 models.
No, we can't say. I can't say.
The one and only Guy Lambert is in the building tonight.
I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. A key modeling, baby. ATL DMV.
Say the spotlight over the city is on to something bigger than y'all think.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby.
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? Keeps clapping, so I put a clapping to that boy.
Oh, you.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar.
Y'all backstage with the one and only Mr. Trey Chaney. Give it up one.
And when you in the DMV, you rocking with Spotlight over the city.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar.
Spotlight over the city.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Spotlight Over the City, and I'm excited about our next guest. As usual, we keep it lit. This one is another amazing guest.
Yes.
Like introduced, but we have another +1 in the building.
We kind of feel like she's family because we consider Tressa and Megamind Media, the whole crew, family. So she's like family in our hearts, right? But this is her first time being on Spotlight Over the City. So I want you all to help us welcome the fabulous, fancy Maggy Francois to the building.
Give it up.
Woo!
Welcome aboard. Wow, she got a beautiful set.
Yes, you look amazing. It's beautiful back there. How are you?
Listen, so this is like this is a project I'm working on, so I gotta manifest my dream.
Yes.
So that's my background.
Oh, I love it.
It looks
You see what I mean?
amazing.
So that's why I have this background on. So every time I see it, I have to make it come to life.
Well, it just came to life on screen because it looks really amazing. So
I
it
love
works.
it. Well, welcome to Spotlight Over the City. Welcome, Maggie. Thank you for joining us today. I'm talking. I got it like this.
Thank you. It's a little low.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Much better, much better. I was saying thank you for coming to Spotlight Over the City. We cannot wait to have you physically in the building so you can see the studio and all the great amenities in here. But for now, we will accept your lovely face right here on Zoom. And thank you for your time. Let's get right to it. You have got some. Listen, the last time we saw you, it was the weekend of March 7th and 8th. I'll never forget. We were at the DMV first annual film and TV and film summit. You remember that?
Yes, I was. I'm surprised I even talked to anybody that day because I was all over the place.
Yes, you were. But it was a phenomenal event. And tell us about some of the things that you have been doing during this quarantine. And lots of people have sent us questions, Maggie, about wanting to know more about your how'd you get into the industry, doing some of the things you're doing with fashion and casting director, all of the fun things that you're doing. People are interested in knowing how you got on that path and what advice you have for those who are wanting to pattern themselves after you.
That's a big question.
Okay, so where do you want me to begin?
You can begin. I know you can begin wherever. I know you can begin wherever you want. Like, let's start with who is Maggy Francois, fancy Maggie.
Okay, so I'll start off with how I got here.
Okay.
And how I'm still going. Because I don't think I never look at it. And when I just heard your last speaker say it's no ending, I agree with her because we're always learning and growing. So I never look at, I'm always
moving and learning from people and building relationships. So key is building relationships. That's how I got here. So when I first went to college, I'm gonna try to put it in a nutshell because my story's a crazy story. Went to college. I went to a private school, all girls, thought I was gonna become a nun nurse after graduation. That's what I wanted to be, was a nun.
Wow.
And I wanted to go back into the convent and be a nun nurse. But that didn't happen after my first year in college. I changed my major. My parents said they weren't gonna pay for me to go to college because they didn't know anything about fashion, which I told them I wanted to change my major to fashion. And at that time, nobody was really into fashion when I was growing up. And people think just because I'm from New York, I was very into fashion, and I wasn't. Because, like I said, I went to an all-girls school, 5 subjects. We really weren't into that at all. I didn't learn about the fashion industry till I went to college.
Wow.
And just venturing on campus, I happened to see a classroom that people were creative in, and I was like, it triggered me. So I researched it, said to my parents, I want to change my major. Didn't happen with them. So I had to leave the school I was at because it was a private school and it was expensive. So in talking to my cousin, because my whole family knew what was going on, and she invited me to her college. I had never heard of an HBCU until my cousin was going there, and I went to visit her. And it's surprising because a lot of schools don't talk about HBCU, especially private schools. You'll never know. You know, so yeah. I went to the HBCU, went to visit her. So while I'm on campus, walking around visiting the school, somebody approaches me. And they said, do you dance? And I danced at the time. And so he said, hey, we're trying to bring back the dancers to this university, and we would love to talk to you about doing this. And I said, I don't even go here. I'm just visiting. And I don't even know where I'm going to college because my parents are like, they're not paying for me to go to college if I'm changing my major. Well, anyway, so he said, well, if you come here, I'll give you a partial scholarship. And I was like, really? He said, all I want you to do is start the dance group. We haven't had it since the 70s. And I said, hey, why not?
Wow.
But that moment to me, and I never looked at it this way until probably a few years ago, taught me how to run a business. Because I had to do everything. You see me, so I came in and I literally had to book people to dance. I had to do auditions. I had to start a whole curriculum for dancing. I had to do posters to recruit people. I had to put everything together.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So for the dancers to still exist at this university. So I think that moment that I experienced all that, I didn't realize how him giving me that scholarship and allowing me and trusting me to do this work reflected everything I'm doing now.
Wow, your backstory is interesting.
You said what?
Your backstory is so interesting.
Yeah, so like I said, I've never really wanted to be in fashion. It was nursing. But anyway, so from me going to college, I transferred to the school. I did a whole bunch of internships, which I am an educator as well. A lot of people don't know that. I've been teaching for 20 years, and I've been teaching fashion design. I went from elementary to high school to middle school. Now I'm a professor at Bowie State University. And that experience right there was amazing to me to even get into the education field, because when I first moved here, a lot of people knew that I worked in the fashion industry. I did a lot of internships while I was in college. So when I moved to Maryland, people were calling me to plan their events. And I never planned an event before. Just because I was interning didn't mean I planned the event. You know what I mean?
Right. Wow.
I act like I did know the events. I just took the contracts and was like, okay, I'm going to plan it, and just ended up doing it by the grace of God. But like I said, it was all the skills I learned from doing what I was doing with, the dancers and creating events. I just took that knowledge and applied it to when people would call me to plan their events. Wow. So my first big contract came out the blue, which was the Congressional Black Caucus. And
really?
when I got the call to do the Congressional Black Caucus, I was like, ooh, okay, I can do this. Yeah. So from getting and it was a friend, actually, I was building a relationship with friends, and they knew what I did, and they called me to plan the Congressional Black Caucus. And that's when it really went. That's when I said to myself, well, this can be a business, because I did that event for 5 years.
Wow.
And so from me doing the Congressional Black Caucus, I just started meeting people, started doing stuff, started doing a lot of runway shows. From me doing the runway shows, the celebrities started asking me to manage them as talent. From that, it just escalated into movies, and it just all intertwined and came all together with what I do right now.
Which
and
is?
A lot of people tell me, how do you do all that? It's all in the same business. You know what I mean? So it's all under entertainment. It's all under fashion. It's all under marketing. It's all under entertainment.
Wow.
So that's why I'm able to manage all that, because of my experience, and it just all flows together.
So you've basically been out there being an entrepreneur boss lady ever since you stepped out of high school, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I said, I didn't realize that till years later. I would sit there and, think about it. And I'm like, I always think about like, how did I get here? We all do. And that's what the moment that really was an epiphany for me, when I thought about, like, okay, Mr. Johnson, I never forget him, gave me this chance. And I literally had to learn how to, create energies with people. I learned all that. Like, I learned how I couldn't work with somebody, you know what I mean? Like, all of it, you learn all that. I applied all those principles to how I am today.
Wow. So what is you sound like a person who firmly believes in building relationships and networks. Do you feel that you agree that is like the base of like expanding in all these areas? Building those relationships is extremely important. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. I think building relationships is like your ticket, your key.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can't work with somebody and have a synergy, you can't, it won't happen. And that's one of the things I teach my kids. As soon as they walk in the classroom, I can sense their energy, and I can sense who I'm going to work with and who got to go. Like, you got to go. If you don't have home training, you can't stay here with me. You know what I mean? That's what I tell them, because you have to have home training and manners and be kind to people and humble yourself, because that's what we need in business these days, especially now after what's going on right here. I think that's going to be a big thing for people, with trying to be kind to others and be more sympathetic towards what's going on, what we have to do, and everybody, especially entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's a major thing that you said, but what I really liked that you touched on was you didn't necessarily see the skills in yourself to jump out there and take that job on, but you wasn't afraid to do it anyway. And so it manifested. Go ahead.
Well, that's a good statement. I still fear things. I'm not going to lie. I'm human. So there are projects I'm working on now, or when people call me, I'm nervous about taking it, because I'm like, can I do this? But one thing I do is I take risks, and I do take, I pray a lot and I think about it. I always tell people, I gotta go take a day, and sleep on it, and talk to God.
Yeah.
My thing is, my girlfriends will tell you way back from college, I always say OGK, and my OGK is only God knows. If they see me, they'll be like, there goes OGK. Because I said that all the time in college, and I didn't realize I was saying it so much, but I always tell people only God knows. So I need to sleep on it and talk to them if I feel something, if it's going to work for me. You know what I mean? So that's my little thing. But I do fear certain things, which we all do, but I'm not afraid to like jump at it and try it.
But see, that's the thing. You may fear things, but that OGK thing jump in every time, and you can't. That's undeniable. See, that's how I live my life, and so I appreciate that, because a lot of people need to hear that.
Yes.
That's the key. That's not that little thing. That's that giant thing that you possess.
Yes.
We call it a secret weapon. That's that secret weapon. That's that one thing that'll make you jump.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
but
that's a secret
true.
weapon. That's that thing that will encourage you to leap when other people want to crawl under the table.
Maggie,
Yes.
OGK, I love
OGK,
that.
I love it. Definitely.
OGK, only God knows.
That's a
OGK.
fact. Only God knows. Especially in this time. That should be a big billboard.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about, how you're able to keep things going. What types of things have you had to do differently, or what types of projects are you working on during this plandemic?
Okay, I'm going to keep it real.
Okay.
It's been hard during the pandemic. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm blessed that I am an entrepreneur where I also teach, and I also have I work with a lot of nonprofits that have been able to sustain their business through this COVID. But yet the entrepreneur side is hard because a lot of my clients are small businesses. They're entrepreneurs. They doing their own thing, and those are my clients. So if they're not making money, I can't make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we've had to cancel a lot of events. One of my biggest events this year was going to be for the STEM engineering conference at the Washington Convention Center with 300,000 people. That was my biggest one. Yeah, so when that was canceled, I was like, oh, shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was excited
man.
about doing that because I've never really done anything in the STEM and engineering field as an event, but I've done it in the school systems. So I was excited about that. So, that was canceled. But right now, I'm still, we're still working. We're still doing stuff for the film industry. Of course, the film industry, we're still moving.
Yeah.
Because once the doors open up, what makes it easier for us is we're able to work behind the scenes and do stuff at home. I'm able to do auditions on camera. I'm able to do auditions online. It's still kind of the same way I was doing it before, but just a little bit more tedious right now because everything is like that. We don't see them in person anymore. So that's been okay. Planning events, we still plan. And once this is over, really, we're just going to drop in and boom, be ready.
And be ready, girl, yes.
Yeah, it's just that delay period. It's that delay period that you just sitting and waiting and laying dormant, so to speak, yeah.
But like I said, it's still hard because, you have to convince people. And, for the school, I would say for me, for teaching on that end has been very difficult because as adults, we like, okay, this is a crisis, yes, but our minds are different where we got to, make things happen and keep it moving. Whereas the kids, I didn't realize, I did know they were still kids, but I didn't realize how impactful this was to them. And when I teach, we teach on Zoom or Microsoft Meets, and seeing their faces, I get very depressed. Because they're like, their faces show everything. You know what I mean? And they look into me to suck up my energy to help them.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm like, the only help I can give them right now is just talking to them and providing resources and trying to keep them busy. Some of the ones that's on they're graduating, but they don't have that whole experience. All that has been very difficult to deal with on the education side.
Wow,
Understood.
man.
We just had that conversation yesterday. Me and
we
wifey,
did.
we're talking about interviewing our kids, the younger kids, 12 and 11 and 12 years old, just to get a perspective from a child's standpoint, because we know we go through it, but so do they. They're not in school. Their normal is not normal. They're not seeing their friends. They're not interacting. No hugs, no nothing. And so it's different for them as well.
That's right.
And then you have the kids that are working, like they have to work to support their families. The school was actually an outlet for them to get away from that, and they don't have that. You know what I mean? So now they're working 24/7 to try to bring money home to take care of their families.
Yeah.
And you have the kids that are living in abuse situations that didn't like going home, and they have to be home.
That's a very true statement.
So it's so much mentally.
That's tough. What do you have anything? We got an artist standing by, waiting by to perform to close the show. What do you have coming up, Maggie, that we can look forward to? Anything that we can do, Spotlight Over the City, to support you? We will. So let us know what types of things that, assuming that this pandemic stuff will be over soon, what can we look forward to coming up?
Well, right now I'm working very closely with Prince George's County. I need to stop saying PG County. Prince George's County Arts and Humanities Council. So we've, put this initiative that I've been working with them for years, trying to bring our creative industry into PG County, because you guys know PG County doesn't have too many things for filmmakers, artists, people in fashion design, all that, photography, musicians, all that. So PG County has invested dollars into a whole design park where we're going to support them and have resources available there. We built this whole studio to do podcasts, stations. It's an art gallery in there. It's a photography studio in there. It's a whole music studio in there for musicians that want to come in to create music. It's so much. Then we have a whole costume design studio. So that was actually the grand opening was going to be February, but with COVID, we could March, like right before all this happened. It was supposed to open, and we had to, shift everything. But that's really what we have coming up, because that's going to be a lot of my focus, along with a lot of things that Megamind are doing. We're working on a bunch of films. I can't talk about them right now, but we have quite a few films coming up. And then that with Design Park, those are probably going to be my two focus. And then, other projects that I do, because I do a lot of music videos in New York. That's my other home. That's where I'm from, but that's where my other home. So we do a lot of stuff. So those are probably going to be my focus, most likely when time is up, because that's the only thing I've been kind of working on for completion this year.
Sounds good. You've got a lot still.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal,
busy, right? But it's
that's a lot of stuff.
You're definitely busy, and I love that a lot. And that's a great idea, and we definitely need that here.
Yes, I love it.
We have to have you guys over Design Park when it opens up, so you can see what I'm talking about, because you're definitely gonna be over there doing some stuff.
Yeah, we coming. You already know. But thank you again for even having that vision, and you have great energy, by the way, and we definitely appreciate having you on Spotlight. And keep us in mind when you guys have the grand opening, so we can come put them cameras on you guys.
That's right. We'll be there.
Definitely.
We will be there. It was such a pleasure having you. You are a part of our Spotlight family now. You're stuck with us.
Definitely.
Anything that we can ever do to support you and what you're doing, you got to let us know. And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And we will be seeing you soon.
And stay
All right.
safe.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, stay safe out there. Stay corona-free.
Stay corona-free and keep us plugged in.
All right, coming up after this quick commercial break, we have got Zo Miller, the smooth sound.
The one and only Zo Miller. He's the fam. And, local.
Closing us out.
We love to have him on. He was on before in the studio. So, Zo, we got a bigger, better studio now. So when you come back next time, it'll be even more lit.
That's right.
We'll be right back with Zo Miller right after this Spotlight.
Would come for me, and now that you're here, my whole world's complete. You gave me so much more than I hoped for. All of my dreams are realized. Girl, you made me whole. Just when I needed a friend, someone who would stay till the end. You came along and made me strong. There are no words to explain all the joy you bring, 'cause in you I found perfect love, that one of a kind most dream of. I never thought it would be, but in you I found everything I ever need. Listen, there were some days, girl, when I felt so alone, thought I'd die. But now that has passed, I know we're gonna last, because we were meant to be. Girl, you all I need. You never know what you've done for
You've opened my eyes, now I see I'm not the same. My whole world has changed, 'cause you're an angel in disguise. And with me is no surprise that in you I found perfect love. That one of a kind most dream of. I never thought it would be, but in you I found everything I ever need. Oh yeah, yeah. 'Cause loving you is all that really matters. Hey, I finally found everything in you. I found love, that one of a.
Welcome back to Spotlight Over the City, and we got us a +1 in the building to sing us out. The one and only Zo Miller's in the building. Well, he's not quite in the building, but you know how we doing it with the Skype thing this time.
Right.
But we definitely got him on hold, and it's a pleasure to have Zo in the building once again. You guys have heard him, and if you haven't, then you're in for a treat. But he's been around the city getting it in for quite some time, and not just locally, but definitely locally for sure. So, are we gonna close out before?
Yeah,
What we doing?
Yeah, just close on out and Zoe.
Okay, so I gotta close out because we gotta we ran behind a little bit, so we running out of time. So I definitely want to say this. Maggie made a great point about the children. Check the temperature of the children, not just with a thermometer. Put your hands on them, love on them a little bit, ask them some questions. They're human. Yes, we go through it, but they hear you on the phone talking about Corona and your job and fussing and hollering and all that. And so it causes them to feel away as well. So make sure you check the temperature of your children. Ask them how they doing. Ask them how their day is, not just with the homework, but how are they as human beings. Check that out.
Yeah.
And we got to get out of here. Make sure you guys check us out every Thursday, 7 o'clock, as you already know. Check out Spotlight Over the City on YouTube, our YouTube channel. Check out IG Spotlight Over the City, Facebook Spotlight Over the City, everything. Even our website, spotlightoverthecity.com. You can check out everything we're doing. Keep up with us and stay tuned to the movement. We got to get ready for Zo, so I'm going to say love hard, live good, God first before we lock and load. And Zo Miller is in the building. He's going to sing us out.
Yeah. Thank you, baby. What's up, Zo?
Let's go.
How you doing?
Good, Zo.
How's everybody doing? Y'all doing all right?
Yeah, man. You got any projects coming up you want to talk about real quick? We ain't got it but a few, but you can shout out something and tell them where they can find you.
But I'm gonna just give y'all. I'm gonna talk for a minute and I'll just give y'all one nice song and then we close out on that. Is that all right?
That
sounds good.
Amen. Yeah, I just wanted to say, I hope everybody's out there being safe out here in this COVID stuff, man, and take it serious. Take it real serious because we got some friends. I know, you and I know we got friends that actually went down with this COVID stuff. I got some people who recovering, so I want y'all to stay safe. So I'm gonna give y'all this song, man. It's just the very first song that I wrote. It's called For Reasons, and hope y'all enjoy it, man. And thanks once again for Spotlight Over the City for bringing me back and do this one more time, okay?
No doubt.
I'm loving you for a reason. Throughout all the seasons,
This has been bugging me. I leaving for the same reason. I'm loving you for a reason. Throughout all the seasons, this has been bugging me. I'm leaving for the same reason. Just time and time I ask myself that why my love is going so bad. That's not the way things are supposed to be. Girl, you know that I'm a gentleman, and leaving was not in the plans. I thought this love would last for eternity. I'm loving you for a reason. Throughout all the seasons, this has been bugging me. I'm leaving for the same reason. I'm loving you for a reason. Throughout all the seasons, this has been bugging me. I'm leaving for the same reason. When I look into your crazy brown eyes, something strange came to my surprise. Can you see the thing that I see? Yeah, I'm not used to living by myself, so I have to go and do something else. It's hard for you, but it is killing me. I'm loving you for a reason. Throughout all the seasons, this has been bugging me. I'm leaving for the same reason. I'm loving you for a reason. Throughout all the seasons, this has been bugging me. I'm leaving for that same reason. I remember the time when leaving was on my mind. To figure out just where we went wrong. Because of you, I'm a better man. And that is why I can understand. I'm here today, but tomorrow will be gone. Oh, baby, sit up. Pray God you can call. I'm standing outside this woman's world, this woman's world. It's all because of a man. Now this party's over. A long time prayer from the Father. Said, ooh, I know you got a lot of life in you, man. I know you got a lot of strength, lady. I know you got a little life in you, man. I know, loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you. I'm loving you. Say, oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Spotlight of the City. Thank you for inviting me one more time. Lorenzo Zo Miller. Follow me on all social media platforms. So I'll see y'all next time, all right? Peace out. Be safe.
Thank you, Zo.